Start whenever.
Oh, I'm starting?
We can both start. Let's just start now. Welcome to the Movie Ruiners podcast. Yes, the Christmas special.
Yeah. Let's do that again.
Okay.
Welcome
to
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome to the Movie Ruiners Christmas special. Boom. First take.
Yeah.
Didn't take 3.
It's so hot by this fire.
It is very hot. It was a bad decision to do this, but we're here, so let's do it. So, Nick, what's your favorite thing about Christmas?
Probably killing terrorists at the Nakatomi Plaza.
Oh, yes, the annual Die Hard rewatch. Classic.
Yes.
Well,
that's what I was talking about.
My favorite is ruining Christmas for little kids and telling them how Santa's not real.
That's a great thing to enjoy.
Yes, so on this episode, we have a lot of that for you. We ask all our guests throughout the year how they found out Santa Claus wasn't real. And sometimes they have funny stories, and sometimes they have sad stories, and we laugh anyways. And so here's some of our favorite clips of the year. When did Christmas get ruined for you? When did you find out Santa wasn't real?
Dude, that's such a funny question. So we moved to America, and around my first December in America, I started seeing the Santa stuff. I started seeing Christmas stuff everywhere, and we'd never been around a place. We lived in India and in Kuwait. Christmas is not being celebrated heavily in either of those places. And I went to my friend Bryce's house, and I saw he had pictures of Santa everywhere, and I was like, "Is that your grandpa?" He was like, "What? Who?" And I was like, "The guy with the beard. Is that your grandpa?" And he was like, "That's Santa Claus." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You don't know Santa Claus?" I was like, "Who is that?" And he was like, "He's this magical guy who lives in the North Pole. He has these little elves, and they make toys for you. You give him a list, and if you're good, he delivers them on Christmas Eve. He comes to your house. He comes through your chimney, and he brings you these toys." And I was like, "That's amazing!" And then he went, "Yeah, but he's not real." Like right away, he told me, like, I had the high of Santa Claus for 15 seconds. He was like, "Yeah, he's not real. Did you think he was real?" I was like, "Yes, you just told me."
You have a picture of the man.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shrine.
I'm the asshole. You just told me what he... Yeah, you created a shrine for the guy.
I'm the asshole.
How am I the asshole here? You were like... He told me with so much enthusiasm. He lives in the North Pole, all this stuff, and I was like, "Whoa, no way! Is he coming?"
It was almost like he was telling you in a way to not spoil it.
I know. I thought he was gonna let me rock with it, and he was like, "No, but he's not real." And he was like a year older than me, so he was 8 and I was 7. Like it was so absurd.
It's like, oh, you were kind of stupid for believing in that.
Yeah, like you know how you do when you're a kid, where you're
Yeah.
actually I'm pretty much a grown up. But yeah, like he tried to like sun me on knowing about Santa, and I heard about him 10 seconds prior to him ruining it for me. I think that it was so hard for me to believe in that because we lived in this tiny apartment complex in Chicago. So I think when you're like, I can see why he didn't grow up with the mask, because when you're poor, or sorry, I can see why he didn't grow up with Santa, because when you're poor, you're like, it's hard.
When you're poor, you just can't rent.
So the mask is like a Santa replacement for you.
Yeah. That whimsy that Santa was not afforded. Like, I think when you're poor, it's hard to believe in Santa, because it's hard to believe in the Santa that you have to buzz up into your house. We didn't have chimneys.
It explains why you're so blown away by Nick's chimney.
Yeah, I love your fireplace. I never...
Santa comes here.
Santa's coming over. Yeah, dude. I think when... I make sense. Like, growing up, like, I'm like, oh, his family had no money, which makes sense to why he didn't believe in Santa even as an 8-year-old kid. And that's why he felt the need to ruin it for me. When did you guys have it ruined for you? Did you ruin it for him? You're his older brother.
No. I kept it going. My mom was like, "Yo, if you want to keep getting presents from Santa Claus, your job is to make sure your brother believes as long as possible."
Oh, great.
So I was like, "All right, well, I'm in."
Cool.
So I was like, "Yeah, Santa, thanks."
So when did you?
I was in 4th grade. This girl named Sarah Bussey was just like, I basically was like, "Yeah, Santa's gonna be bringing me an N64 this year," and she was like, "Santa?" I was like, "Yeah, you know, the coolest dude ever." It's just like, Santa's not real. And I was just like, all right, we'll see. And then I like went home and I thought about it all day and was just like, she has, some good, compelling arguments that she had made. And I got there, and I went to ask my mom. But before I could ask her, I started crying. And my mom was like, "What's wrong?"
Oh, no.
And, I couldn't breathe. And I was just like, "Is Santa real?" And my mom was just like, "Oh, my God." And so my mom's bawling. And we're both just sitting there in the, as you walk into our house, crying, and I still got my backpack on.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was
That's
very
so funny.
Yeah, it was pretty lame, I guess. But
No, that's sweet because she's watching this. There's an innocence that's being
Destroyed.
replaced.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was it was pretty simple. But Reed's is actually much funnier.
Okay.
When I was in 5th grade, my teacher was just like, Santa's not gonna be here tomorrow, or no, she's like, I'm not gonna be here tomorrow. Santa's got some Christmas shopping to do, and I'm just like, like, what's she talking about? And she's like, raise your hand, class, if you believe in Santa Claus. And I'm just,
Yeah.
it's just me and the weird
My
girl
brother's
with our
Reed
hand
goes,
up.
Whoop whoop.
Yeah.
Represent.
North Pole.
We got a chimney.
North Pole stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and then the weird girl that she asked, "Oh, so you believe in Santa Claus?" They ask her, and she's like, "Well, I don't believe in Santa Claus. That's ridiculous. I believe in the spirit of Saint Nick. Just brings, the Christmas joy around these times."
Whatever.
And Reed, what about you? And I was just like, yeah, same thing. Just the spirit of Christmas. And it was just like that day, I died a little inside.
That's so funny having to play it off, being like, "Yeah, no, me too. Santa Claus, he's not real. He's gay, whatever."
I think I was 7 or 8, and my sister pulled me into the bathroom and was like, "Hey, you keep asking about Santa, he's not real." And I was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, yeah. I go, "But the Easter Bunny and stuff is all real." She was like, "No, it's all fake." I was like, "Yeah, I knew that."
But not the Tooth Fairy, right?
Yeah, Tooth Fairy still, yeah. Man, yeah, that's a big moment. I remember middle school, 7th grade math. My math teacher, who was also the head football coach, Tim Trokey, he was doing a number of math experiments to prove that Santa would be impossible. If he actually delivered to every Christian house in the world, how fast would he have to go? That kind of stuff. And there was one girl in our class that was like, I will not do this. He's real. And it's 7th grade. Way later you would be making fun of this girl at that time. That's how much later it is. But she's like, "Well, I just refuse to do it." And the coach is like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. You're old. You should know that he's not real. This is pretty upsetting.
You're about to get your learner's permit.
I know, yeah, dude. You could have a job right now, and you need to get over this.
I actually believed in Santa Claus later than most children.
I thought you were gonna be like, I still.
Yeah. I think when I first figured it out, because I noticed that the handwriting on the present was my dad's. He has very distinct A's, and he wrote "from Santa," and I was like, "Man, that's how my dad does his A's." But I remember believing in him in probably 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and most kids usually are kindergarten, 1st grade, they stop believing. But I remember saying something to a kid one time too, and I was like, something about Santa, and they were like, "Santa? Santa's not real." And I was like, I know, I'm joking. I remember that I was having a wake up call, be like, "Fuck, Ryan, you idiot." I was still kind of wanting to believe.
Yeah.
I kind of heard that he wasn't real, but I kind of still maybe he is though.
Anyone that shows up and gives you presents seems pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
Boom, that's what we're going for.
When did you guys stop believing in Santa?
I hated when you tell your story because I was like, "Oh, I didn't stop believing until 5th grade."
I thought we were about to bond. Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
5th grade.
Yeah, that I remember there was a Santa came to my school in 3rd grade, and I remember that's when it was. I said 2nd, so I made it try to seem like
You were trying to be cool.
yeah, I was trying to but it was 3rd grade.
You still have some trauma there.
But yeah, and he came in and he had a really nice suit. He had a nice silk suit, and he was just visiting all the classrooms. And then he had a station wagon that was a red station wagon that was red and white instead of Santa's sleigh or whatever on it. And I was like, man, it could be Santa. It's a really nice suit. And he has the whole Santa station wagon. Was my thinking behind it. I was like, yeah, he's real. He doesn't fly through the air, but he's a real guy. He doesn't have flying reindeer.
I understand. He does station wagon.
Yeah, he drives.
Flying reindeer aren't real, but Santa is. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
The practicality of the station wagon made you believe more.
Yeah. Oh fuck, dude. Yeah, that's how he gets around. Didn't believe
They
the
get
flying
great gas
reindeer.
mileage.
Oh yeah. Hey, back then for sure. But yeah, 3rd grade is the answer. 3rd grade is when I stopped believing in Santa. So I must have been 8 years old. That's pretty old. Not as old as 5th grade.
Oh, dude. My fucking, first of all, my mom's signature was exact. She would sign it Santa, like in her like signature writing. Massive. Her J's were like, so I'm like, that's her writing. You know, putting pieces together. I'm like 4. And then I like found the gifts one year. It's pretty easy. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. They didn't even try.
Benoit Blanc over here.
Yeah, no wonder she loves the Grinch.
Yeah.
Dude, I was picking up on that shit quick. I was like, that's not happening. Well-
Some bitch at school told me that she was like, I get to be Santa for my little brother this
Yeah.
year. And I was like, what do you mean you get to be Santa? She was like, our parents are Santa. And I was like, the fuck?
What?
What grade were you in?
I think I was older than I should have been.
What grade?
I think
8th
I
grade?
like 4th grade.
Oh,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
I was in 5th
I remember
grade,
in 4th
so-
grade.
Oh,
there was-
really? I might
Yeah.
have been in 5th grade, actually. Like 4th or 5th. Is that
I
embarrassing?
was in
No,
4th.
it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There was a kid in our 5th grade class who, in front of everyone, he like learned Santa wasn't real, and he was like asking me. He was like, "Maddie, is Santa real?" And I I was like,
How are they going to
I would
keep
ask.
that up with
I would ask
TikTok?
Dylan.
I feel like early. I was a very critical thinker as a kid. I would say, I don't know, 1st or 2nd grade. I was pretty young. I just did the math in my head, and I was like, this doesn't really make any sense. And I actually remember being in 3rd grade and talking to this girl. I forget her name, but I remember having a conscious moment that I was being an ass. It was like one of the earliest like self-conscious moments, because I was making a case to her of why Santa wasn't real. And I wasn't trying to be a dick. I was like, but don't you see, like, how could he go to every house? That's crazy. Like, he just goes down a fire. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how could that work? And like, they're making gifts they have at the store. And I remember her being like, no, but he has to be real. It is. It's like magic. And I remember like consciously being like, oh, Jesus. I'm like, this sucks what I'm doing to this woman. I was like, yeah, you know what? You're probably right. I'm wrong. I think you're right. Like, it was like a very early on in life being like, oh, this isn't the right thing to do. But I would say really young. I also feel like my parents didn't give us any gift. All the gifts were from Santa. They didn't write like, also here's a gift from mom and dad. So I was just like, well, how come everyone's getting me a gift except my parents?
Yeah.
It just felt weird. And so I was pretty young. I had a comedian mind of breaking things down and being like, that doesn't seem right.
It was an inconsistency with the wrapping paper.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So,
This isn't from the North Pole.
yeah, I had called the retailer, and then I called the factory supply. I went to the court. No. I got some presents that were wrapped in like a purple Disney wrapping paper. And then this is already at a time when I'm most susceptible.
I think I see where this is going.
And then later, my friends, like family friends, used to come over for Christmas, and my parents would give them gifts. And my friend, I think Ethan, got a present that was wrapped in the same purple. It was clearly just like there's like, oh, we forgot to get him gifts. Throw some shit. They're not thinking I'm like in the shadows, like watching. Like I'm just.
I know that rape
I'm
paper.
I'm like Jake Gyllenhaal in Zodiac with like papers all over the ground.
I was thinking Nightcrawler.
I was too.
Yeah.
I even did the camera.
I mean, hey, same role.
Yeah.
And also Prisoners, same role in a way. You seen Prisoners?
Oh yeah, it's
Dude,
a great
that
movie.
rips. That movie's about. I'm very into like male responsibility right now.
We need some role
Like I'm turning
models.
30. I gotta get my
You
shit
know?
together. But
There's just Joe Rogan out there. You
yeah.
know?
What were we talking about? Wrapping paper, and then that's when I was like, oh, this is the Zodiac, yeah, or whatever. That's how I figured out there was the wrapping paper.
I almost got a fight in 2nd grade with the kid that told me Santa wasn't real.
Dude, that's hilarious.
He was like, you tell your parents what you want. I was like, I tell Santa what I want too. And he was like, well, it's weird that I didn't tell Santa. I just told my parents, and then Santa brought it. And I was just like, what are you saying right now? You know, like, I was like, say it. I want to hear you say it.
Started like taking your stuff off,
Yeah.
taking your chains off.
Yeah, I was like, just,
Like, okay, what do you
I'm
say?
like
Where you
taking
going?
my rings off, cracking my knuckles. It's
What
like,
you
say it again.
What you got to say about Santa?
He's not real. And like that was the first time somebody like brought it up where I was like, blasphemy. This dude's
Dang.
lying his ass off right now. Yeah. And then like I guess maybe a year, maybe that year, I don't know. Jake was like, hey, you want to come to the attic with me real quick? My older brother.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure. Then I go up there and it's like everything that I had asked Santa
Oh,
for. I'm
that's
like,
funny.
oh, he's just storing it here early. That's how he does it, you know? Like,
Still
I just
working.
didn't
Smart.
want to.
He's in denial.
I'm like, God. They say he works one day a year, but he works every day. He's breaking into these homes 365.
That's so funny.
So yeah, that was mine.
I never believed in Santa. Like I didn't get to.
You just weren't that dumb.
No, no. My
I was like, that's
like
so
my parents,
hard.
when I was like little, my mom, she was a Jehovah's Witness, so it was like that sucked. Like you go like
Oh,
everybody in the
man.
classroom is like doing Christmas parties. I got to be off in the corner playing domino rally by myself. It was so weird. I couldn't like have none of the cookies or none of that. It looked so fun.
Did y'all do birthdays?
Nothing.
Damn.
No birthday. Like I didn't
It's
even
about
know.
to turn into a different kind of podcast.
I didn't even know what. I didn't know when Christmas was.
Now, do you do Christmas with your kids now?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. We stopped doing that one time. They were like, yeah, we just couldn't.
I mean, financially, that's a brilliant idea.
It is. It is.
No
You don't-
birthdays, no Christmas.
no
No
holidays,
possessions.
no Valentine's Day.
But also, I'd be like, well, Mom, if you're going to do that, I better get a car when I turn 16
Yeah.
or something.
But it's just like it was just that. I don't know. It just was a.
That sucks.
Yeah. But the good part is I never felt like my parents lied to me. That's how my son feels. That's what, he's like. That's what he told. He was like, "Yeah, you lied to me."
So he's found out.
We told him to. We told him too early. I feel like because he was like, he got me. He was like he pulled us to the side and everything. He's like, "Look, you guys can tell me. Is this real or not?" He's super smart, so we were like, "All right." It's like we made it up. He was
Like,
like,
I
and he
gotcha.
did, and as soon as he did, he's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Oh, dude, this is her. Like she said, she said to do that. I was just
I didn't even want you to have a birthday.
right." I was like,
You know how?
You think I give a shit about these holidays?
"You think I want somebody
They
else getting
want
the
you to have
credit
a birthday.
for what I just?" Dude, it really hurt him. So now he's super protective of his sister. He don't want her to know at all. So it's like I appreciate that, because if it's up to me, she would have known the same time he did. So I think we told him he was like 7 or 8.
I get that's right around the age where, like, I think even like the brain, I think, shifts into being like, wait,
You
a
would
minute.
think, but he actually has his best friend believes in Santa
Hmm.
still, or he's making his parents think that he. That's funny.
I have a
If he's doing-
friend that believes in Santa. Totally not me.
It's not me, guys.
Oh, he ate the cookie. I mean, someone ate
Someone.
the cookies.
What if y'all started with that question and I was just like, what the fuck are y'all talking about right now? When did you find out Santa wasn't real? Then? I guess
Hey,
right
who
now.
told you? Who told you he wasn't real?
I also love to think about like one of my friends listening to our podcast in the car with their kids. being
Oh,
like, how'd y'all find out
Santa
Santa
wasn't
that's
real.
so funny.
Damn podcast.
Yeah.
Any kids listening there, it's not real, guys. I'm sorry.
That's why I always make
It's a
sure and drop a
farce.
couple F bombs right at the beginning. Okay, let's just go to the next. Yeah, sorry. If
You want to set the
That
mood.
was-
I appreciate that.
It is funny though. Santa really is the first conspiracy that we're like exposed to.
Yeah,
yeah, I mean,
we are lying to
it's
our
like,
kids.
did we land on the moon? I don't know. Santa's not even real. So you tell me.
Clearly,
Earth's
Yeah.
obviously flat.
right? They can make up anything.
Yeah.
That's how Santa gets around so fast.
Yeah, it's just
It's a straight
direct
line,
flights are pretty easy.
Shortest distance
Yeah.
between 2 points is a straight line.
Did y'all know that like it's a certain point in Antarctica that you can't pass? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, you're not
Oh,
like,
the ice
allowed
wall.
to go to.
Like nobody's allowed to.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
the
some
hell is
Game
back
of Thrones
there?
shit right there.
What is back there?
The case for Santa.
I think the observatories.
Mm. Is
I
that
mean,
all?
like it
It's
observe us.
Santa's workshop.
Right?
I know exactly
What
what
if,
it is.
Yeah.
right. Is that what you really want to
The
say?
elves.
Yeah.
Truthfully, you want to
all
be like
the people
it's-
working that, all that people working that checkpoint at pointy ears.
Yeah, I think it's pretty
Little
obvious,
twinkle in
Mike.
their eye.
I think we know who it is.
Are you talking about the North Pole right now? I don't know. Maybe candy canes.
This is a great story. I have to get something to drink. Okay, hold on. So, you mind if I just take a sip real
Go
quick?
for it.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
This
No, I
podcast
see your
is sponsored by Pierre.
Perrier.
Pierre, whatever.
You can call it Pierre, man.
Pierre.
Shit. When I drink, it's called Pierre. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been drinking a lot of this since I've been up here, man. I've been trying to watch my calories. I ain't watching them well, though. The time that I found out Santa Claus wasn't real, okay, so I used to live in South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh.
Yep.
That's where our dad was born.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, Richland County. And one Christmas we came back to Birmingham to visit my auntie, and I was thinking to myself, like, hold on. Does Santa Claus know I'm gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, wait a minute. Whoa. We staying for Christmas Day too in Birmingham? Like, I gotta send Santa an email or something. I gotta let him know, hey man, I ain't gonna be at the house. Drop the gifts off here. You know what I'm saying? And I thought to myself, like, damn, I'm not gonna have a Christmas. And I complained the whole time to my mom not having a Christmas. And that morning I woke up to a Christmas. And for some reason, my mom was just fed up. I was like, Mom, how did Santa Claus know I was in Birmingham? She was like, boy, I had the toys in the trunk the whole time.
She was just tired of your
the whole ride to Birmingham. She had the toys. She was like, boy, I had the toys in the trunk. Now, go on, get. I was like, how did say? Because she needed the credit. Because I was upset. I drove her crazy. I stayed up late that night, and she still gave me Christmas. You know what I'm saying? That's why I love my mama to death right there. She still gave me Christmas. Drove 6 hours from Columbia to Birmingham so I could be with my family.
to tell you Santa wasn't real.
To tell me that Santa
That's
wasn't
hilarious.
real.
You're just like, I can't do this another year. Like,
I'm not driving to Birmingham.
This improv yes and thing's
That's
over.
so funny you asked me that question, bro. Like that's hilarious. That's exactly what happened. Like I was stunned. I was like, damn, how did Sally know I was in Birmingham? That's crazy. Mama was like, boy, I had the toys in the trunk the whole time. I was like, why my mama don't need help with her luggages and shit? She's like, nah, just go upstairs. I got it all. That's crazy. Yeah, man. Shout out to my mama, man. She did her thing.
Yeah, my mom just told us one time. My mom, God bless her, I loved her very much, but she had, she eventually got on like the right pills, the right mood stabilizers, and went from like this very like swingy type personality to like more, middle of the road. But I remember like, I don't know. My sister was in school, so I was probably 10 or whatever, but on Christmas, me like, Santa's so great, like thank God for Santa, like, oh, Santa delivers all this stuff, and just like being so stoked on Santa. I remember my mom in the kitchen being like, it's us, we did this for you. This is why you have gifts, because me and your father bought these gifts and we wrap them, we put them under the tree. There's no Santa, Easter Bunny either. Like she was just like jealous of the praise I was giving to Santa, and like had like a real cold moment where she needed to have that. She had to have me, my adulation towards her, and yeah, she just told us straight up. And I remember like holding like whatever it was, like Madden 96, and just being like
Brett Favre on the cover.
Yeah, like I don't care where I got it from. Thanks, Mom.
When you're that poor, I think it is easy to know like Santa. Just like, how come me and like the black kids don't get cool presents for Christmas? like, okay, I'm thinking I understand what's happening.
Santa
here.
Claus is racist, and he hates poor people.
There is a direct correlation between whether or not Santa likes you and how well your dad does.
I always just thought I was so much like better of a boy.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, those guys must be dickheads.
I was being nice. He was making a list. He was checking it twice,
Yeah.
and I was found not worthy.
Oh, dude. Well, so I was raised by a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
Never met my dad before, so I realized Santa wasn't real pretty quick. You're asking. I was a pretty good kid, and I wasn't getting a lot of things on that Christmas list, dude. I realized Santa was fake. I was like, this seems.
You're like 4.
I'm like, yeah. Christmas Eve would come up, and be like, something seems off. Yeah. My mom's working extra like babysitting extra kids and stuff around the holidays, and just hearing her cry and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's not real. We have no chimney. We're living in a 1-bedroom apartment.
Were you telling other kids like I know something, or were you just kind of like
No,
y'all are
I
idiots?
just knew kids had it better than me, and I was like, yeah, whatever. What's it like?
You sound like the one Jewish kid in my class that was ruining it for all of us.
Yeah, it was just me and the Jewish kids who were like, yeah, Santa's not real, dude.
So one thing we've been asking our guests, which I realize won't work with you, we've been asking them when they found out Santa Claus wasn't real.
Oh, I told everybody in like first grade.
Yeah, Lucy
But
was
my
that kid.
my mom's side of the family is not Jewish. My
Okay.
mom
Yeah.
married my dad, and she converted. So we did like a couple of Christmases with Santa Claus, and then I figured it out.
Did you think Santa was real when you were
I mean, I think when I was like 3
right?
to 5.
And then you found out.
yeah.
Were you told, or did you just go?
I don't remember the details.
But you do.
It
remember,
wasn't
you,
meaningful to
You
me.
told your whole first
I
grade
told
class?
people, yeah.
Okay, you didn't stand up at school.
I don't think I stood up, but I do remember telling a group of people, and they weren't happy about it.
Yeah, dude, I'd have been devastated.
Yeah.
I didn't believe the girl that told me that. I was like, you stupid.
Yeah, you're like,
No
oh, it
way.
stinks for you, dude. He lives in your heart. And if you don't believe in him, then yeah, he is not real. But I believe you pulled that card. He only believes in you if you believe in him. You know what I mean?
I don't like Santa Claus.
That's-
I don't like his vibe.
His vibe.
He's
I
gonna
just
get me
don't-
too
I
soon. We all
just
know
don't
it.
like him.
Sneaking into houses.
Exactly.
It's Saint Nicholas.
Can't
That's who
be.
it's based on.
Okay.
Who is a saint.
Yeah, pretty good dude.
Catholic
They
saint.
don't just give that title away.
And he would give gifts to underprivileged families.
Kind of like we did here on this podcast.
Yeah.
Saint Nick, dog.
Yeah. This underprivileged
She doesn't like
podcast.
it. You don't like my vibe.
Wow, what a memory.
Man, I don't know which clip that was, but it sure was my favorite.
It was definitely not my favorite.
No?
But but this next one might be.
My godfather, shout out to my godfather, Carl Johnson, who used to cut my hair as a kid. He was my barber, but he was my godfather as well. My dad would call him anytime I got in trouble and be like, yo, this what Terry did. This is what Terry wanted for Christmas and everything. And then, but I was at the age for like 7, 8, where I kind of remember, like, I redialed the number, like *67, and I called back. And he answered the shit. He's like, "Love Yourself Barbershop," and I was just like, "What the fuck?" I sounded working at a barbershop. He saw my uncle call, my grandfather call. I hung up the phone, and then I think you have I think that's a lot of people think about when their conscience kicks in as a kid. Like, you don't remember your conscience kicking, but I remember my conscience kicked in. I remember as a kid, like, yo, I can go in here and bust they shit open right now and tell my parents, bust this whole thing on, or I can ride this shit out and get these gifts. Because I feel like if I tell them, they're going to be like, oh, the gig is up. No more gifts. But I was like, nah, we're going to ride this shit out. And then I wrote that shit out to about 23. I was not letting it down. My mom was like, your grown ass, no. And then I finally told her, I think I told her when I was like 16, 17, that I ain't believe in Santa Claus. And she was like, you a smart motherfucker, aren't you? And I was like, yeah. I'm going to ruin the
Yeah,
system.
16-year-old figured it out.
Just now figuring it out.
That's so fun. Santa Claus working at the barbershop, man.
He has to keep the lights
North Pole's
on.
elves went on that rider strike.
Yeah, it was like, God damn. Is the elves sweeping up?
You know, it's interesting. I think like it was really young because having older siblings. Like I have a brother that's 12 years older than me.
Oh,
so like,
they're not keeping up the facade.
Yeah, it's if that was maybe my only sibling, they could probably buy in. But I have 4 older siblings, so they all wait. How many?
Jesus,
you sound like Coach Boone. I have 12 brothers and sisters.
I got 5 older siblings.
Story just keeps changing.
Yeah. Honestly, I should use his line. I'm one of 8, but he says 12, and he's like, "Yeah, 12 sounds better."
Yeah.
I might start saying 12 on stage. But
12 does sound better.
I think it was really young. Also, one year my dad had to work on Christmas, so like they still wanted to keep up the illusion that Santa came. So we had he came and there was the tree was set up and there was presents, but then we had to sit all day. And I could just tell, but I was like, no, this is all fake.
You just sit all day,
Just 'cause my
waiting
dad's
for
at
him to
work.
come back.
Yeah.
Santa would not make me wait.
Yeah, I was like, this is
Gotcha.
all bullshit. This is around my dad's work schedule. He's Santa.
Yeah, Santa just happens to get off at 4:30.
Yeah.
I think our friend Patrick Holverston was like, "Oh, my dad got me this tennis racket for Christmas." I was like, "Your dad?" And then he ruined it. I was like 5th grade. Yeah. Late.
That's late.
No, it wasn't 5th grade. 3rd or 4th grade. 3rd or 4th.
I was 3.
It was
dude.
junior year of college. Yeah, finally the illusion was ruined. God, Christmas ripped though.
Oh, it was the best.
It's no longer, the magic's gone, but Christmas used to.
It's
the
fun-
liberals ruined it. We all know it.
It went from, I don't know. I remember it went from being extremely happy to extremely annoying. It's like annoying as fuck now. But I try to, I think adulthood, like when you no longer get gifts, no matter when that is, it could be 7, it could be 18. Because even if you know he's fake, it's still good to know, like, damn, when you hit about 16, 17, and your mom's like, oh, we're not, okay, well, fuck you, dude. You know what I mean? We're not, like, well, I'm not going out all night and getting you the hot shit. Like, no, you're going to get a sock. And then it's like, when you're getting, and then there's another phase when now you got to give gifts because you're a grown motherfucker in society. And now people are expecting gifts. And it's like, God damn it, I'm broke as fuck. You're like, hold on, so I got to give you one, and then your girl.
Could you imagine doing this podcast?
Oh. Yeah, the gifts, I know. The stakes are too high.
When Christmas rolled around, we were like, oh my God,
really
are you kidding me? We were just sitting there just exasperated. Like, I got to buy a gift.
Nah, bro, it's just too much. So I think after that, I was a Grinch for a while. And then finally I got to get back in it. So I started buying the real Christmas trees. I think, and one time, like, I caught my mom taking my tooth from my pillow. And once I was like, oh, if you're the tooth fairy, you're probably all of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's when I was just like, yeah. But I was also an only child. I'm like, as long as the presents keep coming, I don't give a fuck.
I won't say anything.
Fuck Santa. Bring on the fucking Dreamcast. You know what I mean? Like, fuck this shit.
Good question. I think I asked my dad, and my dad was just like, yeah, no, he's not real.
Dude, our parents were actually pretty thorough. My dad, they used to do a cookie out, but they would take a bite out.
Mm-hmm.
So for like a 3-year-old, you're like, well, the cookie's missing a bite. Clearly,
he was here.
But then he would put like flour by the fireplace, put 2 boot prints in it. He did like a few things like that, and you're like, well, clearly, for a 3-year-old, that's enough evidence that this magical man is real.
I was buying it at like 12
Yeah,
still.
yeah, man. I mean, I don't remember the exact day. Or maybe I was just at that age where by the time they told me, I was like, oh yeah, I don't really care. It's fun, you know. But I don't really remember being sat down. But my dad was thorough about that shit. So
even if I knew and I saw boot prints, I'd be like,
yeah, for sure,
whoa,
man.
whoa.
Even if you were like 25 and you saw boot prints by the fireplace. You're like, I got to get a ring camera or something.
Got down
What
there
is going on? Yeah.
Well, I remember finding out. So first was the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny that I found out weren't real, and then I found out about Santa Claus. And then in my head, I was like, okay, God is next. That's what I'm going to find out about.
Any day now, they're going to tell me.
Yeah, and I like asked my parents, I'm like, so God's not real, right? And they're like, yes, he is. I'm just like, okay, all right.
You see boot prints in church? You're like, oh, wow. There's a bite out of the communion cracker. Oh my goodness.
You know God.
God must be real.
Jesus just going from church to church eating I was so convinced. I was like, all right, they're gonna tell me God any day now.
Right. You're
And
still
then they're
waiting
like, nope,
all
you're
these
going to
years
Catholic
later.
school.
Yeah.
It made me so mad when I found out the tooth fairy wasn't real, and then I just kept believing in everything else, just being like, yeah, that was stupid that I thought the tooth
Well,
fairy was
it's
real.
dominoes at that point, right? Where you're just like, God damn it, that too? Oh, man, it just flips everything upside down, you know?
Yeah.
There was an Easter where there was a fucking rabbit in our backyard.
No way.
So for our parents, that's easy money right there.
Are you sure your
It's like,
dad didn't
well,
plant
there it
that?
is.
Yeah, your dad seemed pretty good.
He just went out and caught one and released it.
Yeah. I mean, that's also true. Yeah. We might have ate it later that night. I would have never known, you know?
Our grandma one time, we were like in the car with our parents, and my mom was like, there was a plane going overhead, and my mom was like, oh, wow, look at that. I think that's Santa's sleigh. And she looked out the window and goes, Kim, no, it's not. That's a plane.
It's an airplane.
me and Reed were just like, no.
Yeah, see, it's not that easy, you know? If there was like a raccoon in our backyard, my mom's like, there goes the Easter bunny. It's like, no, come on.
Damn. I had to be in like 3rd grade. It was Christmas. Remember, it was on Christmas. I realized it was some bullshit.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. That's so tough.
We had let out cookies, milk. Santa, right? It's all right, cool. Come back next morning, cookies and milk still there. And I thought to myself, this motherfucker they eat my. There's some good vanilla wafers and some good milk, bro. I was a big vanilla wafer kid. I was like, look. I was fucking insulted. You know what I'm saying?
So
Man,
your bitterness made you realize?
And I realized it was like, you know, yeah. It was the first thing. I was like, well, it makes sense now.
You were like, I can make sense of all this.
Yeah.
I'm not eating these yellow wafers.
Now, this is just too much of a stretch.
Nope.
These yellow wafers, bro.
These are good yellow wafers.
Bro, these are Nabisco, bro.
Santa either likes these or he's not real. No one turns these down.
I mean, there was definitely a moment where it must have happened, but I don't remember it in terms of it being like a pivotal. I definitely remember there was like years where I'm like, yeah, I know it's my parents now.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who revealed. I think it must have been at school, is my guess, where it's like at a lunch table, all your friends are talking, and one of them says it, and then you all quietly, I remember I probably would have been the kid who's like, I definitely know that. And inside my head, I'm like, everything's melting, but you're trying to keep a cool facade. Like, no, yeah, for sure he's fake. And then in your head, you're like, is everything fake? Is my mom real?
My mom was blowing him in the living room. And it wasn't my dad.
I saw mama
No.
blowing.
Yeah, dude.
This is the most real answer we've ever gotten.
Yeah. No.
I hate
don't
you,
know,
Santa.
dude. I fucking hate you, dude. I resent Santa Claus.
My mom said
Thanks for bringing it up, dude.
My mom said.
Trying to fucking clear that out of my memory bank. No, I think, I don't know. Like I said, there was just a lot of shit going on when I was younger. So whenever someone was like Santa, I was like, fuck it, that's not. I was the kid that was like, it's not. He's not real. You fucking, you fucking losers. Like that's part of my problem as a human. Is like that was what I had just seen too much, I think, at a younger age to really believe in stuff
You were
like that.
post-war Lieutenant Dan. At
Yeah,
age like
dude, I
5.
was fucking beat up. Yeah, I was like, yeah, man. I didn't have the joy.
Corey,
thing.
ice cream.
Yeah.
If you believe in Santa, you're Forrest Gump, and if you don't, you're Lieutenant Dan. Just
Right.
Look it up, angry.
Right.
That's a funny shirt. Forrest Gump on one side, sitting in Santa, like wanting to like sit in Santa's lap, and Lieutenant Dan telling him he's not real.
He's not fucking real. Yeah, dude. Santa this, Santa that, dude.
Where's your Santa
Where's your
now?
Santa now? Looking ass motherfucker. Yeah, dude. That's so good.
And Santa showed up.
Santa said I would walk in the kingdom of heaven. Did you hear what I said?
I probably was maybe like between 8 and 10, so it had lasted a good while for me. And then I remember I'm 37, dude. 37 years old.
Nice.
So
05?
04.
Ah,
Yeah,
lame.
dude. 04 out the door, man. So when I was like 8 or 9, I guess Windows 95 had come out, and we got a new family computer from Santa Claus. And I remember Christmas morning, there was like the scrolling marquee screensaver, like Merry Christmas, and had me and my sister's names on there. And I just remember my dad just kept being like, be careful with the computer. Like, hey, that's an expensive machine. Be careful with the computer. And I was just like, Dad, Santa brought this. This is free. Like, I've been a good boy. I've paid for this with good behavior. Like, you be careful. Yeah, you be careful with the computer. And then I think I just kind of like hearing my dad just continuously be like, that cost a lot of money. Be careful with the computer. I just remember asking my mom, being like, so what's the deal? Santa? She's like, no, he's not real. So it was my dad's frugality mixed with my childhood curiosity.
Ooh. I don't remember how I figured out or like learned Santa Claus wasn't real, but I remember like after figuring out Santa Claus wasn't real, like I remember the first year I got to help my parents be Santa for my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So like where it's like after they go to bed, like my parents, like my dad would come and like creak my door open and be like, psst, come on. And then like I'd get to go like to their room and help them wrap like the from Santa presents for my brothers and sisters.
That's neat.
And they'd be like, we already wrapped yours, so like, like you're still getting stuff from Santa, but now you get to help be Santa. So I remember that more than like the actually learning Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, there wasn't a glass shattering moment for you.
No, because it was one of those things like I think just because of the way my brain worked, I had figured it out like early enough, and like my parents were like, we can tell the surprise is ruined for them, so I think we just have to come clean.
Yeah.
At a certain point, like we have to find a way to get joy back out of this for us now.
They didn't want you to ruin it for your other.
It's not that I would ruin it for my siblings, like because I wouldn't ruin it for them. It's just they could tell I wasn't getting the joy anymore. They're like, okay, the magic is gone for him, so we have to find a way to bring the magic back. Because now it's just depressing to us to watch 2 kids get the magic and 1 kid not get the magic.
Yeah.
So then by getting to let me help be Santa, I got like they're like I like it.
That's cool. You get to eat 2 bites of that cookie right there.
Exactly, dude. It's like, oh, I get to be like this, and I get to like help plan like a Christmas morning surprise party kind of thing, So like I got into that, and so they were like, oh, okay, cool.
What's so funny, when we were growing up, every Christmas we'd wake up and run down and wake up our parents, be like, can we open up gifts? Can we open gifts? And my mom would be like, okay, well, give us like 5 minutes. Or 10 minutes. We got to go set up the camera. And they would record like every single Christmas morning we had for like first 10 years of my life, and we hated it. We're like, this is awful. We're never gonna watch this. Like, who wants to see this? And now we do a podcast where we record people getting gifts.
Dude, waiting in the back room while
Dude,
mom
that's
would be
hilarious.
like, hold on, the battery's not working. Oh, the SIM card's full. It's like,
We've been up since 3:30. We came down here at 7 because that's when you said we could wake you up.
That's hilarious, dude. That is kind of the whole vibe. It's like, hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Hold it up. Show the camera.
Yeah, my mom's like very proud.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I did this.
Yeah, I use a lot of her lines. Like, say what you got. What is it?
That's hilarious.
Why did I have to sit closer to the light? I'm so pale. Oh, God, you are. The moon is next to me. Watch out. Shield your eyes.
Nick is white as snow.
Yeah. Follow us on YouTube.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, and go to our Instagram as well. We post clips there daily.
Nah. Not so much daily.
Weekly.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Bi-weekly.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Watching movies till we